There we go. Oh, yeah. Nope. I think we're on. YouTube starting. Facebook is started. Okay, we should be ready to go. Should actually be on. All right. Let's go ahead and share this out to music out. This will be a weird start. We have music. Get a music. You're supposed to have music. You can't have fun in the morning. You gotta have entry music. Everybody pretend like you don't hear nothing. Just pretend in the like you hear something. This is one of my favorite topics this morning. Yay! Good morning, Stacy and Christine and Joanne. Aloha! Thank you for opening my eyes to the USS Liberty. And Sarah, don't thank me. What me? These people here, they teach me. I got a big mouth. So people here teach me, and I just try to share the wisdom. I think it's huge. I mean, the USS Liberty, oh my goodness. I listened to almost the rest of it yesterday, Sarah. I couldn't listen to the whole thing. I could not listen to the whole thing. Hey, what's going on, Brother Robert? Good morning. Watched most of your video yesterday. Robert Walton is doing live streams, y'all. Check out Robert Walton. Bonjour! How you doing this morning? No, wait, how you say that in French? How you say that? How are you doing in French? I forgot. I mix up my French and my Spanish and Mandarin. I mess everything up. Hold on. How do you say, how are you doing in Francais? I forgot. All right, so we're not going to ask Brother Robert how he's doing. I know Kellery Teal. What time is it? Damn it. Without the damn it. How y'all doing this morning? All right, let me share this out to a few pages. I'm already playing around. We're going to talk about some fun stuff today. Yes, they're seeing UFOs again. The military is back to seeing UFOs, not your crazy neighbor. You don't trust your crazy neighbor, and you don't trust people 3,000 years ago that were trying to tell you something that you were supposed to remember. All right. We're going to start a religion around modern UFOs. People get upset. They don't like it. I say alien Jesus. Alien Jesus. They don't like that. I say, hey, listen, is Christ from here? If he's not terrestrial. Emma, what is he? Are you trying to say that he's not omnipotent or something? He's not from here. All right, hold on. Uh-oh. My color's off. It's got a little sun in here. Hold on, let me change my color. Let me change my color in the world I make. There we go. Yeah, there go that mocha. That's what I like. That's the mocha I like. All right, better. All right, yeah. No, ça va bien? Yeah, it's, ça va? Oh, damn it, too? Y'all all over the place. I remember some of that stuff. I know my last name is Fouin. Fouin. Je m'appelle Fouin. Je m'appelle Gerard. Fouin. That's why I wanted to be French so bad. Damn it, Robert. I wanted to be French so bad. I like how y'all do the thing with the Y'all can talk. I can't talk like that here. I talk like that here. Think I'm like cat, woman, man thing, something. Anyway, how y'all doing this morning? Where's YouTube at? YouTube, let's see. Does YouTube like me again? YouTube wasn't fond of that USS Liberty. Did y'all watch part 2? I posted part 2 yesterday. Watch part 2. It's important that you know what happens in your world so you can make good decisions. If you don't know what happens in your world, you make horrible decisions. Speaking of horrible decisions, if you don't know the origin of the religions, we're going to be in trouble. We're not be in trouble. We are in trouble. We are literally in trouble. We got a world to fix. So we don't have time to play for your John D. Rockefeller-isms. Right? John D. Rockefeller and the Rothschilds, they set up this world, gave everybody an ism, an ology, a race, a nation, and then all the monkeys proceed to go off and fight everybody. That's stupid. Don't go fight other poor people that are set up being played in the same game you are, and you're ignoring John D. Rockefeller and the Rothschilds. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I can't do a delayed entry this morning. I'm running low on time. Is this the right? Let me see. Sound crew picked up. There you go. There's the right background. Let's turn the volume down so people don't yell and scream at me. All right, we're gonna talk about aliens today. I like this topic. I like the topic. Why? Because all world conflict comes from it. Oh, let me get my comments up. In the ancient past, man saw something he couldn't understand. Woman too. The hell is that? Yo. And the aliens, well, let's not call them aliens. Let's not do that. Because we don't actually know. We don't really know if these creatures coming from other planets that all the jet aircraft are seeing, all the military is seeing. We don't know where they came from. They could be human from the future. They could be coming from the inner Earth. They could be coming from the bottom, the Challenger deep. They could be, what do they call it? Underwater submersible objects. Could be civilizations living under there. Could be a Stargate under the water. Could be hollow Earth. We don't know what the hell these things. We don't know. Listen, 98% monkeys. Stay focused. 98% monkey. Stay focused. 98% monkey. Stay focused. We don't know anything. Nothing. That's why I don't debate people. What's that, Ty? Good morning, Ty. That's why I tell Ty yesterday. So I don't debate people. Brother Sean here, he still want to debate me. I don't want to debate you. I don't love you to death, but I don't really care what people think. I really, it's just, 98% monkey. I know where y'all was 45 generations ago, and I know where I was 45 generations ago. So I'm not really interested in what you know. I'll show you what I know. What I know, let me find his picture. Let me find our God, our Lord and Savior. Where is he? Where is he? Our Lord and Savior, John D. Rockefeller. The man who set up our world, and we proceeded to go fight everybody. We proceeded to go vote. We proceeded to fight for the corporations and fight for the nations and pick up an ism and an ology and go fight everybody with just not your ism and your ology or your race or your religion, so he can make big time money and his children can rule the world with the Rothschild's children. All right. That's the God of money. That's the God of the planet. All right. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because aliens in the news, I get to talk about it. Hey, aliens in the news. Aliens in the news. Because is anybody, let me ask you a question. Anybody out there wonder if aliens exist? Is anybody left? Anybody left on this planet that's thinking they're the only creature in the world, in the universe? We's the onlyest creature. All right, that's is that too condescending? That's condescending. All right, I won't do that. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody. I just want y'all to know there are always aliens. They're always on the next town. They're always over the next mountain. I know they look funny. They eat funny food. They got funny feathers on their head or something. They got spears, but they're not aliens. They're humans. They're not pagans. They're not part monkeys. They're just, we're all related. There's always somebody over the next ocean. I know they don't speak your language. They don't eat your food. Weird stuff grows there. But no, they're not aliens. They're just people on the other side. Life is prolific all over the damn planet, and so life is going to be prolific all over the damn universe. All right, it's just a narcissistic, sociopathic perspective. I don't know, neither of them words mean. I don't know. Everybody uses them now. I'm going to use them. Everybody uses it. It's narcissistic because I don't like it. It's sociopathic because I don't like it. I don't know what the hell that means. But you're definitely lost inside your own head if you think that life only created intelligent life in your brain, in your species, on your continent, in your country, in your town, in your right or your left. All right, I'm done. I had to get that out. Stop. Let me show you the news. Let me show you the news. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Because personally, I've never seen a UFO. I thought I did. I hope I did one day. And I thought about it. I said, nope, that's not a UFO. That's the United States aircraft. The drones is gonna come murder me later when they're done murdering the rest of the planet, because everybody keep voting for this stuff. Somebody called me a don't vote evangelist. What the hell is that? I'm not a don't vote evangelist. I don't care if you vote. Look, I love you, Jeff. I do. I love you with all my heart. I look out for you. People come after you. I got your back. We're cousins. But I really don't care if you vote. I'm not trying to get you to be like me. I think you should be like you. I'm not invalidating your experiences, what you've been through, what you believe in, I think it's all valid. I just simply think there are bigger problems in the universe and in the world than who pretends to run America. That's all I'm saying. Pull up YouTube, then we're gonna start. Where the hell is YouTube at? What y'all talking about? Aliens only communicate with certain people. Stacey, that is not true. Stop it. You stop it. Aliens communicate with everybody. Just not everybody listens. It's like religion. Aliens communicate. The creatures that want to run all of this, that help run this video game above the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and them, they talk to everybody. Not everybody want to listen. That's what it is. They want to go to church and pick and choose. You know what? Commandment 1 is it's not really fitting in with my day. You know, Commandment 2, I think I follow that one, but Commandment 3, I'm not so sure. We just, you know, go around the corner and start beating somebody over the head with a Bible. All right, here we go. Let's get into the news. Aliens in the news. Aliens. I love me some aliens.
You've done your homework. You know what you want. It's the final days of the Built for Memorial Day sales event.
No, don't buy a car. Cars are slave machines, are slave technology built on slave labor, made from coltan, gold, iron, all the things. You got an old car. My uncles had a thing and my father had a thing. You try to take a car, it's supposed to last you 10 years. If your car's not lasting you 10 years, I'm gonna make something up. If your car's not lasting you 10 years, you support slavery. Don't support slavery. I know everybody out there got them new old cars. It's smelling good, don't it? Smelling good, I know. Because you got that nice chariot. Got that chariot. You ain't down in the cotton fields in the coal town mines, picking the coal tan and the cotton. But somebody say something about some slavery, now you're going to catch a case. All right, I'm done. I was having a little fun. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to watch the news? Everybody here? Everybody, grandmama here? Everybody, no notifications? All right. Y'all should invite people because I love this topic. I love this topic because to me, when you finally get people to accept that we're 98% damn monkeys and something came out of the sky thousands of years ago, world conflict can stop. That's why the alien discussion is important. That's why the UFO discussion is important. That's why you don't know a damn thing discussion is actually important. Because if you admit that you don't know a damn thing, you're not willing to murder people and fight with other people and go vote out other people. Because you're not right. Neither am I. All right, check this out.
Okay, now this is a story that for some may be a little hard to believe. Hear me out. U.S. Navy pilots spotting UFOs flying across the sky at hypersonic speeds. This is the United States Navy reporting this. And it's a story first reported by the New York Times. It is...
Y'all hear that? She said the Navy said it. Support the troops. Support the troops. I know you got your bumper sticker on your car. Support the troops, all right? Remember I tell you what supporting the troops is? Shutting the hell up and listening to the troops. Listen to the troops. They're your neighbors, your friends, your family, your uncles. They're trying to tell you everything. They're trying to tell you that your government doesn't run your government. They're trying to tell you the wars ain't about what they're about. They're trying to tell you they're shooting innocent people. They're trying to tell you that they're being bombed on the USS Liberty and the American government ain't coming to the help. They're trying to tell you all these things. And they're trying to tell you that the aliens is real. Wake the hell up. Stop with it. Stop with it. Don't blame the military. They're going to do their job just like you do your sellout job too.
Sparked a lot of interest and attention, so I had to get asked my questions. Of course, I bring in our top RT correspondent, John Huddy, who joins us live now with more on this seemingly out-of-the-world story. Okay, John, are there little green men, Martians, walking the Earth right now?
No, I hope not.
Okay, let me make it this to be a little bit...
I hope not.
Well, I hope so too, but let me make it a little bit more professional. Is this really fact or is this science fiction?
Well, it's a fact that U.S. Navy pilots reported seeing strange objects almost daily between 2014 and 2015 off the east coast of the United States, in particular off the coast of Virginia and here in Florida. They say these objects were at both high altitude levels, such as 30,000 feet, and sea level. And by the way, UFO can be anything that can't readily be or be explained, something that is seen, but there's no explanation or there's nothing to, definitively describe that. But going back to this story, in one incident, an F-18 Super Hornet pilot said that he almost slammed into one of the objects, which he described as almost kind of sphere-like. And in that case, an official report was filed. And one of the pilots, Lieutenant Ryan Graves, who spoke to the Times about it, said the object he encountered was flying at, he said, hypersonic speeds. So that's in excess of 3,800 miles per hour. He said it had no visible engine or exhaust plumes, and that it was doing impossible maneuvers such as sudden stops and instantaneous turns, things that really modern aircraft, even, our top fighter planes and fighter jets are really unable to do.
I'm gonna pause right there, okay, because this is why I do this. This is why I do this. If your issue is climate change, you should be, hold on, let me go back a little bit. If your issue is climate change, because everybody got the things that scare them, everybody got the things that bother them. If your issue is climate change, you should be asking what the hell is that, right? Because I think it's your your group thinks that we need fossil fuels and CO2 is destroying everything. That's called a free energy device, okay? Now, who owns it? I don't know, brother Rob. Who was that? Somebody's laughing earlier, said it's New York Times. So that's another, now the people who know that the media lies, they should be here too and focus on the why too. This is what happens when we all get together, ask the why questions. Like, why are my politicians fighting fossil fuels and fighting for fracking, and they want solar panels and they want wind vanes when it's devices that's literally free energy flying, no gas, no nothing. This is your issue right here. The 5,000 patents that the U.S. government will not release that's related to energy, climate change, that's your issue. All right? People know the media's lying, like, brother, the media always lies. Is why the hell is this in the New York Times? This is your issue right there. Who is that? What is that? And what do they want you to think? How do they want you to respond to it? The religion people here, y'all fighting, what y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all still trying to take out the Muslims trying to take out the Christians, and the Christians behind the Jews, and Zionists run the world, and they stole Israel from the Jews, and that's your issue right there. That's right there, all right? There are multiple creations. This is what I tell you what I believe. Because I like ancient archaeology, I like science, and I like religion. I love all of them. I don't care nothing about y'all bigots. I read all of it. I study to show myself approved, which is the scripture. I think there were multiple creations. I think you need to focus on the Adam and Eve essay that the CIA, I talked about it many times, that they classified. They classified it for a reason, all right? It demonstrated there's only one religion per se. There was only one faith per se, and that happened thousands of years ago, and ever since then, everybody done got it wrong. I think there were multiple creations. Well, let's say it right. There was one creation, and then there were probably a lot of little recreations, right? One big creation by a big G God that very few of us know anything about, because it was so far in the ancient past, and human beings like editing, changing, and cheating, and plagiarizing, copying, flipping scriptures, and kings like to modify stuff. We didn't know nothing about that big G God. But I think we know a lot about the little G gods that know a lot about the big G gods. And I personally think one of the little G gods was Christ. Why? Because it lines up with what makes sense from a behavioral science and neuroscience perspective, right? When you got a species of an exploding population on a planet of limited resources, you gotta love everybody. And Christ got that wrong. Mind you, Christians got it wrong, right? Now we gotta do a delineation. There's a big difference between what Christ taught and what Christians do, right? Christ taught, Christians do. Christ taught, Christians do. It's a big difference. And what Muhammad taught, Muslims do. Muhammad taught, now the Muslims are a little closer, because something about poverty and having your country destroyed that keeps you a little closer to the truth and of your religion, and the whole thing about money and how money and banks and bank accounts broke Christianity. So I think there was an initial creation. Call it a Big Bang, if you will. I know I just made that word up, and I always link together science and religion, because I think there's only one truth, and you only have people who are seeking that truth, people who are actually seeking that God, and people who are just living in John D. Rockefeller's world of conflict. One initial Big Bang creation, God created everything. We don't know what the hell that is. It could be a simulation, could be a toddler on a laptop. They just pressed power because mom had to go to work. And boom, the whole universe got created on a laptop. And here we are in the simulation, which actually makes a lot of scary sense. Big G God with a pacifier in his mouth, but still knows a lot more than what we know. But then you had a bunch of little G gods who kind of figured that out. And they keep going around flying to these planets saying, listen, y'all need to work together. This is food, here's some science, here's mathematics. You know, you need to try to figure this thing out together, because if y'all keep fighting each other, keep killing each other's babies, y'all keep murdering and killing and voting and this side and that side and letting the John D. Rockefellers and Rothschilds keep running y'all's planet, you're all gonna die. Why? Because the planet is not a habitable place. We live long enough and we figured it out. You gotta live in space. You can't live on the planet. Eventually the planet's gonna blow up. Eventually a comet's gonna hit it. Eventually the poles are gonna shift. Bad things are gonna happen. Work together, love each other. And it flies away. And then we get upset like, oh, it didn't come back. Why did it come back? It's John's fault. Why did John you do it? No, it's not John's. It's the other tribe's fault. Why is it the other tribe? All right, maybe if we build a pyramid, a ziggurat or something, maybe it'll come back and land on it, right? Faith gets created. The gods are coming back. They come from the heavens and they're going to come back if we do something, you know? And it's just, so we add to it. We add to it and add to it, add to it. And of course the psychopaths take it over and it becomes a thing of control, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, focus on the messages that sync up with what moves humanity forward. All right, I'm gonna watch the rest of it, but that's my belief. Focus on the message, not the messengers. Focus on the message, not the messengers. I think that was a quote that Susan stole from somebody else. I stole from her. All right, here's the rest of it. Focus on this. This is what will save your world. Or is humans in the future coming back saying, listen, y'all, we didn't make it. Could be that too. Last theory. Could be humans coming back saying, listen, because couple things. First of all, big G gods don't need flying ships. That's one thing. Big G gods don't need to appear and they don't need to come to your planet. Big G God got a pacifier in his mouth, sitting at a laptop with the power button. When it gets sick of y'all, he can just press the power button. When he wants something to appear, he can just ask a question, it'll appear. It doesn't even type, I don't think. Big G God doesn't do this. This is little G God work, right? This is little G God that's more familiar with the big G God. All right, but it could be humans from the future. Everything we've ever thought about, we've created, right? From cars to airplanes to rocket ships to all of that stuff. So everything we think about, we manifest. We're manifestation engines. Religion and scripture actually told you that. Now quantum physics is telling you that. Now epigenetics is telling you that. We literally modify our DNA and things in our environment just by how you think. So we've manifested time travel, whether we like it or not. It's coming like a fax machine. Eventually we make it, and maybe we all die in 2029. And that's them coming back, just kind of surveying the planet, That might be them looking for some whales, see if any whales are left that they can take into the future and repopulate the whales up there. Or it's them coming back doing things. Driving the human civilization. Like, you ever think it's weird that we always come up to points of extinction and we never go extinct? Like, we get some help. Could be us in the future just coming back helping us. I don't know. Who knows? A lot of theories. The whole point is, I don't know. I'm 98% monkey, so are you. None of it is worth fighting over. All right, here we go. Let's finish it up.
Jets are really unable to do, along with, he says, staying airborne for anywhere from 12 to 13 hours. You know, our stealth jets, as incredibly advanced as they are, still have to refuel. So this is pretty incredible. And Lieutenant Graves reportedly said he thought that maybe at first they could be, you know, commercial drones or something of that nature. But, you know, really at this point, it remains unclear. And the pilots, while excited in one of the videos from the Navy that was released, did not say the objects were extraterrestrial. But neither Lieutenant Graves nor the three other pilots, apparently interviewed by the Times, wanted to speculate about exactly what they saw, Scotty.
Well, of course, no one.
All them doing nothing here, and also could be controlled opposition. Could just be America, because America, well, not America, because America actually doesn't control America. It's like the bureaucracy, the deep state agencies, everybody above the CIA and the FBI, all the acronym agencies. Could be them. Could be them just using Navy pilots, getting you to be scared of the aliens because of that Project Bluebeam and one of the aliens going to attack everybody. Send all your gold to the Rockefellers and Rothschilds government. Send all your cars and everybody all hail. You know, it could be that too. The aliens are coming. We need everything. We need all your rights so we can save you. You know, it could be that too. We don't know. Could be the Russians, right? This could just be them trolling the Russians to let the Russians know, we've been watching y'all, we know what you got, we know you got free energy devices, because they're lying to you too. They went over there after Hitler and after World War II and got everything the Germans got, the Foo Fighters or whatever they were making, whoever they were working with, and they advanced that technology, and here we are, damn it, almost 100 years later, still on fossil fuels, but all the World War II pilots saw the Foo Fighters. So we don't know what it is. But the point is, to me, this is highly important because it takes out all the reasons for conflict, right? It takes out all the reasons for conflict. There is no one fighting to stop climate change, assuming it exists, right? Free energy exists and all the big governments all have it. They're just trying to figure out how to use it as a weapon of war to murder people than to save the damn planet or to save the people on the planet. And all the religions are all worshiping the same God anyway, and little g gods who altered it later.
Wants to speculate about what they saw if they're a U.S. Navy man. That being said, are there any reasonable explanations for this other than those little green men just toying with U.S. Navy fighter jets?
Well, yeah, and scientists, look, this isn't the first time that pilots, whether it be commercial pilots or naval pilots, have said they've seen unidentified objects, flying objects, UFOs, in the sky. But scientists have often said that it could be something related to, the weather, such as like atmospheric effects, reflections, some kind of weather phenomenon, possibly bugs in the flight input code of these jets or display systems, basically something, earthly rather than extraterrestrial. But again, in this case, these are U.S. Navy pilots making these reports that are being investigated by the Pentagon and certainly has got the attention of the DOD, Department of Defense. They're not coming from, some yahoo in his backyard saying that there's a flying saucer spinning overhead and that they're about to be abducted by aliens. So it's...
All right, also, just because somebody in their backyard doesn't make them a Yahoo. Okay, stop it. If you create a search engine that you try to control the human population, that makes you a Yahoo. That makes you a Google. That if you're a part of ARPANET, which was designed to control humans and make them as stupid as our family and friends are right now, running out to save the world, voting. Not stupid. All right. That didn't make you a Yahoo. But the other theory there too is, see, it's not just us that's in conflict. It's not just the isms and the ologies and the nations, and it's not just us being stupid. That is stupid. It actually is the CIA and the FBI and NASA and NI. Like they're within the bureaucracy, they're fighting us all. Remember this. Keep in mind this. This man and the rest of his cronies, when they made this world, it was about conflict. It was about keeping every organization, every person, every group in conflict with each other. Various struggles at various levels. So nobody knows what the hell is actually going on. And everybody's focused at the fool next door, the organization across the way, as opposed to the people at the top that actually control all the information, the ones that know it all. So we don't know what it is.
It's definitely something that has people's attention and is certainly, if anything, intriguing, Scotty.
It's very intriguing. And like you point out, this is coming from the United States Navy, so this isn't a joke. They're actually trying to identify it. And we don't know the drones, people there on the beach that have created their own sort of flying mechanisms. That being said, I know I brought in the right guy to find us some answers. Thank you so much for joining.
All right, so I'm gonna clear that. It's not no damn mechanism. What is it? I slipped words too. I thought it was funny. It ain't a mechanism. I don't know what a mechanism is. That sounds nasty. You need to go clean your mouth out with some soap. It's definitely not anything that's created, that somebody's flying on a beach. Navy pilots aren't fooled by things like that. Not to mention nothing anybody creates on a beach flies that way. Not to mention if you create a free energy device or anything close to it, that's how in America, you know how it's gonna go? Excuse me. Slave, open the door. We know you got free energy in there. We know you're working on a drone. Nope, you can't, nope, you can't do that. You can't have the patent, you can't make it. We need to keep everybody in struggle over fossil fuels. And they're gonna take it. That's what all the engineers, how many of the engineers who are trying to release those patents is a 200? 200 engineers went to Washington and they tried to get them to release the patents for free energy devices that all exist. How many free energy devices got created? And it's crazy to me. Like, I've been getting a discussion with someone and they're like, free energy doesn't exist. I'm like, dude, you know it's like 20 of them? They keep making them. They've made so many free energy devices. They kill the people, they get foot cancer, they die, they lock the patents up. They even got a law that prevents you. What is it? Was somebody post a link? There's a law in action in the United States. The United States government came up with this stuff, which is why I still don't understand why y'all vote for these puppets, these fools. They created a law, a patent law, that says if you create a device that creates energy over 20 or 30% over the standard, that they secure the patent. You can't create a device. You can't, they literally, if you can spell it right, made a law that says you cannot create a free energy device because it will destabilize the world economy. They literally just told you, we will destroy this damn planet if you took away the profits of fossil fuels. They literally put it right in your face. Go vote. All right. What are y'all saying? Let me look at some comments and I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, and it was a great theory too. I was looking at the other day, talking about that's where the pyramids came from. That the aliens came down and landed on the ziggurats in ancient times because they were doing what, who was it, Admiral Byrd and the rest of them like to say, they're always restarting, recreating civilization, helping the humans get started out again, because we might be a video game to the little G gods. They might like kind of come in and like use the controllers. Let me see if I can, y'all know what a ziggurat looks like? So if you were here thousands of years ago, let me see if I can find one that makes any sense. This is a ziggurat, and it's just a platform where I forgot where the theory even came from. You know, a flat landing platform, because you know back then all of that was jungle that the UFOs would land on, and that's actually what the pyramids were. Like I think this, whatever. Okay. You know, and so, but anyway, if you were way back then looking at something like that and the gods come land on it, you were from another land and you came out there and you're like, oh, damn it, that tribe got aliens, man. They'd land and bring them gifts. What would you do? I see that the tribes around there, because everybody would be standing around here waiting for the UFO to land, right? Like, what the hell are they doing? Scouting the land out, and all of a sudden the UFO comes land and the creature come out, start giving you all kind of mathematics and agriculture, some seeds, some cannabis and other things, some mushrooms. Teach you how to do this, and everybody's like, oh my God! You go back to your land, and what you do? We need to make a ziggurat, y'all. We need, because listen, if you make a ziggurat, the God's gonna come out the heavens. And if the guys don't come, then of course you're out there. And what do? You start to pray. And I'm not taking anything away from religions. I'm not doing that. That's not my goal at all. I'm just saying there are a lot of good theories as to where religions came from, and over time how they've been modified. It doesn't take away a belief in God at all. It doesn't take away. It just means that we have a lot of dogma wrapped into your modern religions because kings like power. And the critical point there is that the CIA classified the Adam and Eve essay. If you hadn't read it, you need to go read it. All right. I've read they can use LED screen craft bottoms to play the video of the sky below them. Right, exactly, Genie. And they got the drones that do that. They got the drones that have LEDs on the bottom. Hang on, let me go back to the alien Jesus picture. I know what I'm pointing at. This ship over there and the ship over there, because they were trying to tell you when they made this painting that during the crucifixion there was some aliens, some craft flying around, there were people in them. Why would they do that? Why would they do that 1,000 years ago? Because they found earlier texts that kind of explained perhaps during the crucifixion there was something watching the little G gods, because we're like a video game. Anytime a major event occurs, they're over there filming it. They got their cameras in their aircraft doing selfies at the monkeys. All right. All right, so they have the drones. That's what Jeannie was talking about. They got the drones that fly over and they can hide. So if we have the technology to fly drones over that you actually can't see, Do you think that a species that's 1,000,000 years in front of us or us in the future don't have the ability to fly around right now and you can't see them? But the only time you see any of these crafts because they want you to see them. Short of that, you don't see them. All the ones who are documenting us, like at the zoo, like at the zoo when they want to actually observe the animals, at the zoo when they want to observe the monkeys, they have the two-way glass the one-way glass where you can't see through it. So you can see them, but they can't see you. And that's how you observe 98% monkeys. That's how you do your science experiments and try to figure out how they're evolving. I think we might be Sim Earth, literally. I think we might be. I think somebody had a dream and they created the game Sim Earth because we might just be a simulation and they're just coming in and observing. But we're significant. I'm not saying we're insignificant. I believe that billions of species out there on all of these planets that the big G God create and little G God's messing with and they fly off their planet and mess with the other ones. But we're here for a reason. And that reason is not to kill each other. It's not to steal from each other. It's not to take each other's land. It's not to worship kings and lords and politicians. We're here for a reason. I think they're doing some sort of experiments, trying to, most likely sociological, not biological, because a creature can come here and take a monkey and take some dust of the earth and make us. They don't need our biology. They don't need us for nothing other than to see what's going to happen. Entertainment. They might be bored. How we get bored. We're a petri dish. Mary, I agree. I think we're just a petri dish, and we're here for a reason. And it's not to kill each other. And it's not money. It's not bank accounts. Computer simulation. I think we are, Rebecca. I think we might be in a computer simulation. Now, it's assuming we even know what a computer is, right? On that level. A computer on that level, it might be spiritual technology where it's just like a little orb or crystal or something and they made us and we're in it. I don't know anything about that. I just know that as above, and usually how things work here, they probably work that way over there. And avatars in our video games, they kind of think they're alive too. Those stealth jets cannot turn on a dime at Mach 1. No, they can't, Joanne. But we could have made technology that did that, right? The Russians could have made that. We're always 30 years behind in technology. They got the stealth fighters for 30 or 40 years before they even let us know. So it could still be, another government here, and they're just trolling each other in the mainstream media because they don't care what we think. Like the governments, because they're in conflict with each other too, on a level, not on a significant level, not on a Rothschild, Rockefeller, central banking level, but they're in conflict with each other too. And so they could be trolling each other. I know what you got. We got it on film. This is what you got, and they won't say anything. And so I think they use the media to communicate between governments as well. UFO craft don't need fuel, free energy. Exactly, Stacy, and that's my point. If we know it exists, why are we still cheering anybody in leadership of anything that's promoting fracking and pipeline and fossil fuels? Why in the world would you be behind anyone yelling climate change and CO2 levels in leadership, in power, that doesn't seem to know this? They either know and they don't care, right? Dominate the planet or die trying, your politicians, or they don't know, which I don't believe, or they got another plan. It doesn't include you, maybe doesn't include this planet or all the mammals that are going extinct on it. Took my grandchild to Roswell to enjoy all those plastic aliens. Yeah, Augustine, and you know what? And Roswell, I think Roswell's a real deal, Augustine. I think that was a real deal. Growing up, I wasn't so sure. Now, I'm pretty sure in my mind. I'm like 92% sure Roswell was a real deal. Because all the people, as they're getting older now, they're now saying what was true. They're saying that they were told not to say anything, that they were threatened, and these people are getting old, and now they're saying, oh, we were there, we got the bodies, I saw them, they're at this. You got the military people coming out, and they're saying that. So I think that actually happened. But they do what they did on the USS Liberty, which is why the USS Liberty is so important, right? After it happened, there was a geopolitical, reason to keep it quiet, and they threaten these people's lives, and they don't say anything. In the USS Liberty Part 2, if you watch it, he'll say the same thing. We were told not to say anything. And one of the guys, he worked for the NSA up to the last 10 years. And he was like, I wasn't able to talk to anybody. Like the Part 2, they kind of got into the psychology of not being able to talk to anyone. being in the USS Navy, being in the NSA, being on a ship, attacked by Israel for geopolitical or whatever stupid reasons they came up with why it was a good idea for Lyndon Johnson to let 140 sailors get murdered. He just didn't know that they were only going to kill 30 of them, and them boys knew how to keep that ship afloat, even for 16 hours afterwards. But part two kind of went into the psychology of it. You know, to have your commanding officers tell you, well, first of all, they took everybody from the Liberty and they scattered them all over the armed forces, so and all over the United States and the world, so they couldn't talk to each other. Then they told them they can't say anything. They threatened them, right? And if you went to school, got your job, got your career going on, got your babies, got the wife at home and the husband at home, got the mortgage, they could break your means of providing for your family if you were to say anything. And they didn't say anything. But they're saying something now, which is good. And so this is why we got to evolve and upgrade once we figure that out. So yeah, the USS Liberty to me is no different than what's happening in Roswell. And right now, those people are just getting old. And like, you know, the older you get, the more you think your life has to have meaning. And you don't want to take those secrets to the grave. And so on their deathbeds, they're saying, yep, Roswell was real. It was a real UFO. It wasn't no damn balloon. It was actually a UFO. I mean, bodies in there. We got the bodies out. They took them to whatever Air Force base, blah, blah, blah. And we just have to grow up and believe that people on their deathbeds in their 80s and 90s aren't liars. They have no reason to lie. They're dying. The only reason that they're saying it at the end, they're not starting a bank. They're not starting a political career. They're not going to run for president in 2020. They're literally dying. And before they die, they want to make sure, like you do, I do, everybody does, including John D. Rockefeller, you want to make sure your kids will be good. Your kids will be successful. Your kids will be okay. And so they tell the truth. All right. Maybe they're here. We just can't see them because we don't know how they look. I think that's true too, Maryland. I think they said that on a disclosure project, that most aliens look like us, which makes sense. If something's flying around making life with its DNA or its second chromosome or whatever, then probably most life around the universe would look just like us. They could probably come here. We wouldn't know any different. And I think that's what the Germans said, the Nazis said, is that they were tall, blonde, Nordics or something like that. And that's where Hitler, with his black hair and black little mustache, came up with this idea that the master race wasn't him. Like, you ever think about that? Hitler, little short little dude, little stumpy, stubby, you know, little mustache about this big and black hair, saying that the master race is not short people, it's not me. And it's not people with black hair, but with blonde hair, and not people with brown eyes like mine, but blue eyes, and begin to worship people. Like, what would make somebody do that? Do you know anybody that would do that here today? They'd worship them. They'd be like, not black chocolatey skin, we're kings. They look just like me. No, he began to worship something else because he saw something else, which is why he stopped the war effort and he dedicated significant resources for those people he stopped to go around the planet to try to find all the ancient archaeology that told them what these things are. That's beyond what the religions say. Let me see. I don't vote evangelist. Yeah, Maryland, that's what they call me. But I was kind of upset because they said I was second string though. I wasn't first string. Is Lori here? Lori said I wasn't even a good don't vote evangelist. She said I was like second string, that you had to go out and check out Sister Deb, or you got to go check out Obstruct the Vote, that I'm not doing a good job of telling people not to vote because it's just a useless, pointless activity for poor people who have no idea how the world works. Yeah, he said I was second string. I'm gonna try my best to be first string though. I'm working on it. Thank you, Gerard. That's exactly what I thought. Why do the psychopaths project their Yahoo label onto John Q. Public when they are the Yahoos? Yeah, well, this is the world we live in, Rob. So this is the crazy, weird world we live in, and people still believe it, which boggles my mind. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You know that powerful people run all of this. I think people just get used to doing a certain thing. I think John D. Rockefeller and the rest of them, they're so locked into knowing human psychology and how to make people scared to get them into the isms and the ologies and the nations. And they just know how to drive people, but the Yahoos are the people at the top and unfortunately us at the bottom. We are so effed as a species if we don't flip the stuff soon. Yeah, Daniel, well, we are, and I don't think it's the first time. I think I think we've been here before. I think we are a species with amnesia, and I think we keep failing. We keep failing. That's why I think Christ got mad, flipped the church, flipped the bank's table over in the church. And I think we were supposed to learn something from that. We shouldn't be learning here in 2019 that we shouldn't have central banking. We shouldn't have an iron bank that continually fuels and funds both sides of every conflict and war. Gas is almost up to $4.50 in the Bay Area right now. Yes, Genie, it's supposed to be. It's going to $5.50. Why? Because we need a war with Iran. Why? Because we need gas prices to go up. Why? Because we need people to be in conflict. When gas prices go up, poor people fight each other. When gas prices go up, crime goes up. Because prices go up and food goes up. And as long as people are scared of their neighbors and scared of the poor people, the middle class will be happy with the prison industrial complex. Lock all them, all the black and white people in the middle class, lock all them poor whites up. Watch all the white folks in middle classes, most of them, and all the black folks in middle class, lock all them ghetto monkeys up, you know? Why? Because people embrace it. Listen, people without food get real moody. They get real moody. Shoot, the middle class will be cheering for the police. They're out there right now with their Sharpie marches. Stop the police! They'll be out there marching for the police when they keep starving people at the bottom. Why? Because when people are starving at the bottom, nobody looks at the top. People starving at the bottom, everybody ignores the top. So gas prices are going up because that's the only, well, to me, the only thing that makes sense, right? There's always a direct correlation between crime and poverty, right? Crime and jobs. There's always a direct, crime always goes up. When crime always goes up, what do people do? We need a police state. Take our rights. You gotta protect us from the other poor people who can't take care of themselves because they're shiftless and lazy. People at the bottom are being starved because it gets you to focus off of your government and on your neighbor. So yeah, I expect those prices to go up. They know exactly what they're doing. They've been doing this for hundreds, if not thousands of years. They know exactly how to get us to focus on each other, not them. That's why I say I'm out of it. I'm out the game. I done pulled my isms, my allergies, my races, all my nations. I done pulled all that stuff. I'm done. I'm done playing. I'm done. I threw down the controller, y'all. I took my John D. Rockefeller controller, put it on. I'm done with it. Somebody else can play. I'm done with it. The government knows all about them. Yes, they do, Stacy, and most governments released all those records and told everybody that it's something flying around. If we know it's something flying around, we know it's free energy. We may not know who, but we know it's free energy. And if anybody's got any secrets about free energy, like the U.S. government, then most likely, most things you see flying around, ain't no UFOs and aliens on field trips doing selfies of us. It's most likely the government. It's most likely the Russians, the Chinese, the British, the American government. And I'm not sure if they let the Germans back in that game, the things that I saw. India has an ancient text that describes flying machines and a great war in the sky between the gods, the Mahabharata. Yes, Joanne, the Sanskrit text, and that's exactly where all the world's religions came from. All the world's religions came from the Sanskrit text, and people don't seem to figure that out. They can't process the idea that the people they've been fighting their whole lifetime are actually worshiping the same God in a different way. And the little G gods ever since have been saying, y'all need to work together, but they want to stay in conflict because the government and kings and lords keep them in conflict. Those who hate gods, those who became the gods, keep them in conflict. But yeah, going back to ancient times, everybody saw the flying ships, from the Aztecs to the Mayans, to the Egyptians, to the ancient Indians, they all saw it. But we deny it today because we don't see them today. But I think there's a reason why. Like I said, I think it's a study. I think they're studying us. And it's very limited how often they can influence us. They're supposed to let us figure it out. And I think it has to do with sentience. That's what I think. I don't think that we're allowed to get off of this planet significantly until we develop a means of self-management, until we develop an ability to not murder each other. Like, yeah, I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example. I think when we all become more like this guy, let me show you this guy. This guy, who is this guy? Let me show you this guy. Something I saw this morning. When we become more like this guy, this is when they'll let us off the planet. When we figure out that we're here for each other, we're not here for ourselves. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. When we do this, we'll get away from the polls. See, I'm working on my not vote thing. When we get away from the polls, I can't believe I did a video that y'all got to go out and vote. That scares me. I might delete that video. When you become like this guy, He's in his truck right there. You see him? Everybody see him? He's in there now. He wasn't actually on his cell phone. He wasn't texting. He wasn't texting. Hey girl, what you doing tonight? What you doing? I ain't busy. You up to anything? No, he wasn't looking down. He actually was looking up. And guess what? Fell out the sky. A baby. Baby. Man gets knocked out, saving a 2-year-old baby that fell from 5 stories up. Knocked out. Didn't come through till the police got there and everybody was standing around. When we become like him, when we can sacrifice ourselves for the next generation, that man should be dead. This brother right here. Let's see what he got to say. Oh, he ain't speaking English. Never mind. This is America. Everybody speak. They don't read nothing. They just speak English. And plus, you can't see the subtitles anyway. When we become like him, when we're willing to sacrifice ourselves for the next generation, we're willing to lose our life for a random child falling from the sky or the next generation coming up behind us, when we're willing to let go of our political parties, our racial bigotries on all sides, our religious bigotries, when we're willing to accept that we're all family and we let instinct drive us, and your instincts are to save lives, not take lives and steal their resources. When you get out of this mindset of what politics is, right? Robbing Peter to pay Paul, and both Peter and Paul are your cousins. When you actually evolve to that sentient level, that's when I think they let us off of this. And that's what I think all of this is. I think it's a study. I think it is a study that we have to stay here until them mixing their second chromosome with the monkey chromosomes actually becomes something that can self-manage. I think aliens don't have a whole lot of time. That's what I think. It's like I don't have time for debates. I really don't have time to debate you over like side effects of what happens in John D. Rockefeller's world. I'm gonna talk about John D. Rockefeller and the people who keep everybody in conflict. I don't have time for that. I don't think the aliens have time to manage species that are flying in space using free energy, blowing up planets and suns and doing dumb stuff. I don't think they have time for that. I think that you got to stay on your planet till you figure out that you're all related to everything all over the universe and you all got to work together. And I think that's the basis of what could become a religion. Stay on the planet. This is what you need to do, but your butt's going to stay here. And if you don't figure it out, the planet poles are going to shift. You're going to die. The asteroid's going to come. The supervolcano is going to murder you. Or Armageddon's gonna come, which is where Revelation comes in. We're gonna unchain the devils. We're gonna let the few that made it out into space that wasn't supposed to visit your planet. So they can do what you do. They can chew off baby foots and bury them under rubble because you feel that you're fighting, picking the lesser of the evils. Your political parties and your nonsense. That's why I'm not interested. Why? Because you want me to vote for a party that you think will let less babies hit the ground. And I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested. I don't care. Oh, but my party, we only gonna genocide just some countries. We're not gonna genocide all the countries. No. Well, what was the new budget that's got approved? $750 billion for war. $750 billion. The Senate just did. While we was on the Veterans Day, y'all, Memorial Day, everybody was like, yeah, support troops, got the flag, woo! What was your Senate doing? Your Senate committee was all approving $750 billion, which was more than what Trump asked for or even the Pentagon. Why? To go murder people and send weapons all over the planet. All over the planet. You think it's not going to pass? Hell yeah, it's going to pass. And the whole world needs to be looking at America right now. Because Americans don't control America. War and violence, death and destruction, killing babies is what controls this planet. And I'm done cheering for it. I don't know why you do. It boggles my mind. What do you think they're going to do with $750 billion? That's the same amount of money the budget was when we invaded Iraq. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to save babies falling out of 5th-story buildings? Yeah. This is why I think the aliens just sit back and watch. They sit and they don't get out the ship too often because not many of them around. Be this guy. This is who you need to be. This is who you need to be. This is who you need to be cheering. This man right there. That's what it's called. That's what called growing the hell up is. That's what's called evolving. All right. What else we got? Let me get out of here. That was timely too. I know that was timely. I almost planned that, huh? Anybody feeling upset? Anybody's stomach upset? Like, maybe I won't vote. Maybe, yeah, well, maybe you should evolve. Let me see. Staging stuff is their MO. Yes, it is, Brenda, because it works. It works. It could be that there are absolutely no real alien UFOs we see. They could all be all government now. Right? They could have been done. They're all flying. But they stage things because they know how to control our behavior. Which is why, for me, everything has a root cause fix. Like, I see the whole alien videos and stuff, the UFO videos. I don't know if they're true. I don't know if that's a real alien or a puppet. Did y'all see that old video? Like, I look at this alien. Let me see. Hold on. Let me show you this. I look at it and I'm like, you know what? Is that a puppet? Real alien video. I don't know. It was like from the 1940s or something. I look at it, I try to figure out, did they make a puppet that could actually move its mouth and talk? No, I can't. I'll see if I find it. But I look at things and it's just like, oh, okay, well, if I'm gonna be scared of aliens, then they're controlling my behavior. If I'm aliens come save us and start praying to the aliens, then they're probably controlling my behavior. But if I'm just like, you know what, I don't know what's true, government can't have secrets, then they're not trying to control me. And they're not going to control me. Like, if everything is removing power from them, then anyone who's staging anything is going to lose. It's like people who say Assange is CIA, not. Please don't start fighting over that. Y'all was fighting over that yesterday. That's yesterday's stuff. To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If the answer is there shouldn't be a CIA, then it doesn't matter if Assange is CIA fighting the FBI, Assange is CIA trying to control my behavior. It doesn't really matter because I'm saying, okay, I get it. I don't know what's happening in the world. It doesn't make any damn sense. I want to make good decisions, so no, governments can't have secrets. Oh, man, I want to see if I can find that video real quick. Nope, can't find it. So I look at the stuff and it's just like, I don't really care if these are false flags. I don't really care if these are real aliens from the 1940s and the autopsies and it's the alien that was talking. It was creepy. It was creepy as all hell. But all right, if I find it, I'll post a link. But I don't really care about it, whether or not it's controlled opposition. They're not controlling my behavior. My behavior is you don't get to have a CIA. My behavior is you don't get to lie about aliens. My behavior is you don't get to have secrets because you're supposed to work for the people. And if you actually have secrets, it means you're not actually working for the people. You're working for somebody else. Gerard is funny. Laura, I ain't funny. I ain't funny. This planet is funny. I ain't funny. This planet, I'm just looking around the planet like, oh Lord. This planet was funny. I just look around and I'm backing into the corner. That's all I do. That's like, oh Lord, I'm just gonna watch this. They about to fight. I'm just gonna watch, see what happens. I'm like John D. Rock. Where's John D. Rock? Where's Johnny Rock? Where's Johnny Rock? Hold on. No, okay, I did Johnny Rock too much. What a Rothschild. Any Rothschilds in the crowd? I hope not, man. Them people murder you. They murder your whole state to get you. I just believe and take the power from these people. That's what I believe. I believe, and their family too, their cousins. Look at this. They're worth $500 trillion. $500 trillion. And you yelling about poor people that got 5 cents in his pocket because he stink and he's on your way to work and you want to step over him. They got 500 trillion. Talk about who controls the world. So, oh my goodness. So if our military budget for next year is what, $750 billion and they got 500 trillion, you think they might be in America? It seems like America is dominating and built an empire around the world. What do you think people can do with 500 million? Keep calm. Focus on the fact that none of us know what's true because not only do they own all the militaries, they can buy all of them. They've already bought all the countries. They control every damn thing. Now they want the masses scared of aliens and clones and lizards. Yes, they do, Brenda, which is why I don't think anybody has to be scared of aliens and clones and lizards. Why? Because if clones were coming here from another planet, they can murder us just like that. If the reptilians were real and they didn't like us, they could murder us all just like that, right? If they've been here for 1 billion years and we've only developed this massive murder technology in the last 100 years, Oh, we don't have to be worried about them. You're not going to feel nothing. In fact, if anything, we get wiped out, I want the lizards to do it. I want the reptilians and the little green aliens. I want all them to do it. Why? Because they're the ones that it's not going to be painful. All of these little bastards, they do it. Oh, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck. It's going to be 5G and radiation and radar. Anyway, that's my point. I don't believe in human conflict. I think it's stupid. I think that's what faith was. I think that's what religions were. They were all trying to tell you that you shouldn't be worshiping kings. You shouldn't be worshiping lords. You shouldn't be worshiping politicians. You should not be in conflict with other poor people because other poor people don't control your world. These greedy bastards do. They were trying to show you that free energy is real and there are greater things that Christ had done that you will do, that some things in the book of Jeremiah won't be revealed to the end of time, which is that the life could be so fantastic. There's so many places we could go, so many things we could do if we were a collective. But divisible, we're dumb as the planet is gonna end. That's what I think. And I think they formed a faith around that. My shirt resembles a mood ring. Oh, we need to toss their game. Yes, Brendan, and that's my point. It doesn't really matter if they're trying to control anybody. Toss the game. Toss the game. Toss the game. When you see what's happening on the game board and you don't like it, you're not sure if it's true or false, it doesn't really matter. Your whole point should be, you know what? Nice. Finish. I ain't playing this game no more. And if that's always the position, then it doesn't matter what they're lying about. Doesn't matter who's lying, who made what up, if it was a hologram, flat earth, but none of it matters. None of it matters. It's just details. None of that matters. Just stick to the root cause solutions and we get out of here. Then we're actually doing the things that the little G guys are trying to tell us about the big G guy, or the little G guys are trying to tell us because they want us to make it out of here. Rise in love instead. Yes, Christine, that's all it takes. Doesn't matter the question. Love is always the answer. Always the answer. The question does not matter. Love is always the answer. Love and understanding that who you're mad at, they're a part of your family too. Only 34 of us. Ha 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 ha. No, it's only 28 now, Mary. People can't do the alien topic. They can't go there. Boy, you start questioning their religion and their countries and their races, boy, people get upset with you. Yeah, and they should. They should be upset with me. I ain't saying don't be upset with me. They should be upset. There should be two people here. Y'all should be mad as hell because I'm questioning the life that John D. Rockefeller gave you. I'm questioning the life that the Rothschild gave. I'm questioning the societies that they set up that put you in the position it is, whether it's your religion or race or economic status or immigration or whatever. I'm questioning the things that you've made your lifelong struggle. Playing John D. Rockefeller's game. They should be mad at me. There should be two people here. I'm fine with that. I'm not here for people. I'm here for people. I'm not here for numbers. I'm here for people. You never know the one person that might make the difference. And that's what all this is about. Could be Daniel. Daniel could be the one to be in the right position at the right time, and Daniel saves the world. Could be Stacy. Could be Mary. You never know who might save the world. Just say what's true. Don't worry about where the chips fall. Have faith. Faith. And women are people too. Married women are, yeah, goodness. Women are women people? I don't even know what a people is. I don't know what a people is. I just know that women are the most abused creature on this planet. I know that. And there probably is a reason why, right? There's an involved reason why, because men developed that stature and strength. And so women had to develop other things that we couldn't, right? Like you really think about it from a evolutionary perspective, a human being has 26,000 genes, right? A rice plant, has over 50,000 genes. Why is that? Well, one of the scientists answered, he said, well, because rice can't get up and move around and walk around. It can't put on a shirt. It can't modify its world and its involvement. Its evolutionary path has it going in a different direction. It had to evolve other DNA to do other things. It had to become highly methodical. So imagine what would a woman would have to do for thousands of years, maybe millions of years, being the less physically stronger of the species. It would have to evolve higher things here. You know, a creature that can make a baby. You know, so absolutely women are people too, but I think that women have something to contribute based on how they evolved being surrounded in conflict. They couldn't, take on the men of the tribe. So they had to become more methodical. They had to be more thinkers. And it's just my opinion. Sounds kind of genderist, racist, whatever. But it's my belief. I think that most women, not all women got the psychopath thing too, but they're a little more thinkers. They think things out a little more. Men are more like dogs. We're more reactionary. Women, they're kind of a little methodical, like little devious cats. Little devious cats are always up to something, but they're thinkers. But imagine if we took all of that, the strength and the thought and all the evolved abilities and all the learned things from the Native Americans and the Aborigines and the Germanic tribes and the British tribes and the African tribes and Honduran tribes, and took all of that evolved power and strength and data and learned behavior and put it to this one big 7 billion human species family thing and solve problems. Man, imagine if we actually did what that Christ thing tried to tell us. Imagine if we did what that Muhammad thing tried to tell us. Imagine if we did what that Buddha thing, Siddhartha, tried to tell us. All right, Jimmy Carter is another war criminal, well proven. Yes, he is, Brother Walter. People should not be cheering war criminals. See, Brother Walter, he'll give you the details if you still love Jimmy Carter. Nobody should have leaders. No leaders. Every leader will sell you out. It is a guarantee. Every leader will sell you out. Blind faith does that. Anytime you blindly believe something, they will break you. And that's why when the church had blind faith in books and not in Christ, they had blind faith in scriptures and translations, not in what Christ actually taught. They made a church that could defy everything that Christ told them to do. And that's what he did. You got blind faith in Jimmy Carter, blind faith in Donald Trump, blind faith in a flag in America, blind faith in May and Putin and Merkel, blind faith in these leaders. That's how you break people. You can't have blind faith in things. You can't trust anything. We are a hive. Together we are powerful, individual, putting all of our resources into a few individual elites. We're all going to die. The government has no control over them, or government is very afraid of what's happening now. You know what I wonder about that, Stacey? I think what government has a say in what they're doing. Right? Because I think if you're an evolved creature that's billions of years old, like I said, I don't think you have any interest fighting government. I don't think you'd even fight back. I think you'd just be so evolved and you know that you're in this biological body, and when you die, you just move forward spiritually and energy and come back as something else, whatever. I think government's leverage is blowing up the world. That's kind of what I think. Like, if you ever look up how many times they see aliens over the nuclear power plants and the nuclear silos, the ones that they actually release and let us hear about, because you got a few whistleblowers on the base that are like, oh my God. Like, if you really think about it, that's the only leverage government has. Everything is about leverage. That's why I say don't vote. That's the only leverage you have, is your complicity with this world. Don't buy. Don't be a consumer. Don't have bank accounts if you can get away from it. Don't do the things that you don't have to do to walk away. It's the only leverage you have. The only leverage a government have, 98% monkey, dumb as government, dumb as us, is blowing everything up. They got nuclear weapons. I mean, because if you think about it, why in the world do we have 5,000 nuclear weapons? What possibly could the reason? I mean, how many times can America alone blow the world up? And Russia, something like hundreds of times over. What would be the benefit of that? You know, there's only one planet that we know, but they got enough nuclear weapons to blow up the world 100 times over. And say, yeah, well, that's because if we shoot some of the nukes, they might shoot some of them back. Oh, yeah? 100 times? 100, like, I get that. You know, 150% of what you need to blow the world up. I get that. Or 1.5%, right? They might get half your nukes. But 100 times over, and that's what's released, like Brenda's saying, do they? We don't know. They might not even have one nuke. Or they could have 5 million nukes. We wouldn't know. They lie to us about everything. That's why I don't understand why people still believe in government. They lie about everything. But the point is, I think that's their only leverage. But it's what I would do. Like, for me, once again, everything is just plausibility. Plausibility in what I would do. If I were them, aliens were coming here. Aliens obviously are interested in whatever's here for whatever reason and like these human things because they're funny and funky and stink and jump around and dance and Sometimes they say babies falling from 5-foot-story buildings, and other times they're dropping buildings on them. We're an entertainment system. I think we're an entertainment system, and I think maybe the government's acting like Gator on Jungle Fever. You know, his mother asked what it did. Mama, I smoked the TV. Maybe that's what the government's doing. They just, hey, we know the aliens like whatever's here. We will murder everything on this planet. If y'all don't either give us some technology or whatever, then the aliens come down to the UFO, the nuclear silos and say, no, you're not. No, you're not. We stop that. The government works on more ways to blow things up. They don't actually have to shoot the nuke in the air. They can blow them up in suitcase nukes. You know, so I think that's the only leverage they have. So I don't know. It's a good question. Do our governments actually ransom our lives? Do they actually use leverage against us? Well, they use leverage. They use that on the USS Liberty. As above, so below. Human behavior that doesn't tend to change. If they did it in the past, they'll probably do it in the future. So if the U.S. government, Johnson was willing to murder 140 Americans and what was it, Operation Northwood, we know that they're always willing to kill us for what they consider to be their greater good. If they're always willing to kill us for some gain, then yeah, I think that they certainly would use a nuke as leverage. Why? Because they've done it before. That's fine. Oh, it was a good theory. A good theory that one of the USS Liberty sailors had. He said that Lyndon Johnson knew, right? Because he said they were calling from the ship and they were saying, we're under attack, we're under attack. You know, the jets were black because Israel painted them black because it was racist. No, Israel painted them black. So they were trying to make it seem like it was the Muslims racist. And they didn't know who was attacking. And they're like, we're under attack, we're under attack. And then Johnson, because it was Secretary of State who called back the fighters that were going to help the sailors on the USS Liberty. And Lyndon Johnson got on the phone and said, nope, call the fighters back. Call them back now, or you'll be court-martialed. And he said, I'm not going to embarrass an ally over a few sailors' lives. And one of the theories of the sailors, he said, how did Lyndon Johnson know that the Israelis were attacking us? Because we didn't even know. So how did they know? Well, first of all, Lyndon Johnson knew because this was set up ahead of time. And one of his theories was that his theory was that Lyndon Johnson wasn't a bad guy necessarily, which is bigger. But his point was that Lyndon Johnson was behind JFK when he was shot, and that changes people. That changes people. If you're riding behind somebody and you watch them get their head blown off, that affects you just a little bit. Someone drops you a little note years later when you're president, here you go. We did that. We control half of your Senate. We control most of your Congress. We got spies all throughout your government. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, or you take on this silly project that JFK had of sending in commandos to take over our nuclear manufacturing facility, we won't send you where we sent him. And it's an interesting theory. It's a scary one, but it's an important one, especially for all Americans and people around the world who are questioning America's wars. They need to pay attention to. All right. But they've done it before. They ransom human life, and they'll sacrifice anybody they need to get what they want, because that's the world that John D. Rockefeller made. People can't handle the truth. Stacey, I think they can, and I don't. You know what? I don't even care if they can't handle the truth. I think they need to know the truth. I'm gonna keep saying what's true. In my mind, what I see, I don't really care if they can handle it. They need to grow up. We need to stop playing. We need to stop playing pig farm. We need to stop playing human farm. We need to grow up. We need to move forward. We need to evolve. We need to restart evolution and do something good for once in hundreds, if not thousands of years. We need to act like we're all family. So yeah, people can't handle the truth, and that's why they run, they delete you, and they don't want to hear it, but you got to say it anyway. Yes, we are a people farm. Who was that? Max Egan called a people farm. The crowhouse.com. Sounds good, Joan. Reminds me of Animal Farm. The John D. Rockefeller board game, a bestseller. Ooh, Sharon, somebody should make a board game called John D. Rockefeller. Or better yet, just call it Devil Bill's House. Devil Bill's Life. Call it something like that, where people just roll the dice and they get certain jobs, Or they're born in certain places. They're born in trailer parks or ghettos or barrios or Israel or Palestine. And like, make it as real as you can. You know, and they're given this race, they're given this struggle, they're given this, you know, you're a victim, go fight the other people. You know, I think somebody should make a game like that. I believe in telling people the truth. Let them see the truth. Let me see. Oh Lord, what y'all say? Are y'all still talking about are people women? Good topic. Oh Lord, if somebody, oh goodness. We need so much help. If anybody's really asking that question, and I think y'all are being sarcastic. 1 million seconds equals 11 days. 1 trillion seconds equals 31,710 years. Gives you an idea of how much power 500 trillion gives someone. Yes, Susan. And people, they'll say the theory, say, oh, well, but they're all different. They're all divided up. They're all over the planet running other corporations and banks and everything. Yeah. And they're probably in conflict with each other. I agree with that too. But they're not in conflict of them ruling. They're not in conflict with them, their family staying in power, ruling the world. It's like America. Americans in conflict all the time. They fight each other over damn parking spots. They shoot each other literally over shopping carts. But you take out one of their towers, the World Trade Center, they all come together. You know, so there's no question that 500 trillion is levied against all of us and all nations. Because at the end of the day, like does stick to like, and they see more likeness in each other than they do in us. And they run all the corporations that buy all the politicians, that buy all the parties, that own portions of every government all over this planet. And they all work together, and they all play them all against each other and make sure they stay on top. That's why you can't have any fear. Time is relative and doesn't really exist. It's man-made. It is, Stacy, and it's because what? Time and gravity, the smartest people on this planet ever said time, gravity, and magnetism, they're all related. You solve one, then solving the rest is just an equation. You know, time is one of our perspectives. If you vote, do a protest vote for a person who will end war. Yeah, Jennifer, I hear what you're saying. I'm just a no voter. I don't believe in the system. Like for me, it's not about like Trump. It's not about Obama. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's not about the parties. It's not about anything. It's about we live in a system that's dropping buildings on babies in a world where babies are falling from buildings. Damn, that might be a quote. Whoa, where'd that come from? I like that. Well, the aliens will put that in my head. We live in a world, we live in a system that's dropping buildings on babies in a world where babies are falling out of buildings. We need to be the people catching. And the system doesn't allow any of the politicians to catch him. It doesn't allow any of the parties to catch him because his name is Devil Bill. He created a world based in conflict and with Rothschild, and they put their family above everybody else. It kept everybody in conflict. So it's the system that's the problem. And so it's voting it's the actual voting that is the actual problem. That's consent to a system that murders children for jobs. Like I said yesterday, people don't like it, but I'd rather have a president that tells you the ugly truth and doesn't give you any sugar with it. I want a president that just says, I want him to say it differently, but I want the president to just, listen, we're going to kill people for jobs. That's what's going to happen. We're going to funnel weapons all over the world. We're going to let them murder people. We're going to give them to 13-year-old kids. Let towns of women be raped. We're just going to keep doing it. And I like the fact that Congress agrees with him and the Senate agrees with him. And what he asked for, this 700, what he asked for, 720 billion, whatever, what he asked for. And they gave him 750 billion. I think that's good. I think it's good. I think that the more it's in your face obvious that these people don't give two damns because that's what the system requires, then I think, hey, this is good. I'm not scared of him being president at all. Not at all. I'd rather know the ugly truth. I want him to say it a different way. I'd appreciate, you know what? You'd almost get me saying something positive about Trump. If he would say it a different way. If he would say, listen, the American economy, this is what I'd do if I was Trump. I would say the American economy is based on murder, death, destruction, rape, and becoming the purveyors of death on this planet. The GDP is based in making the American flag the most hated symbol on this planet ever. It's based in making the swastika look friendly. It's based in making the Dixie flag look loving. American GDP is based on murdering human beings all over this planet. So I'm gonna do my job and make sure that the GDP goes up because y'all want jobs. Y'all want health care. You want to make sure you have a mandatory income. So I'm gonna send weapons all over this world. I'm gonna send tanks and drop bombs everywhere and kill everybody I need to. So monkeys can have all the shiny things you want. That's what I say. I think you put it that way, people understand. We need to know the ugly truth. This is the adult game. This is not the child game. The child game is hiding under the blanket and pretending that we're good. Hiding under the blanket, pretending we're the good guys. Hiding under the blanket, being scared of the monsters under the bed and the monsters in the closet. Scared of the aliens. It's the adult that wants to know the ugly truth. It's the adult that walks in a room where the other adults are being children hiding under the blanket that goes and opens the closet and says, look, ain't no aliens in there, man. And the aliens that in there, they back under the shoe and they don't give a damn about you. That's why they don't fly and land the big ships anywhere, because they got other things to do. Ain't no aliens in there. That's your government. They're just trying to scare you. You know, it's supposed to pull back the cover. Look at this. Look under the bed. There ain't no Trump under there trying to kill everybody. It's an American government designed on murder because it's owned by somebody at the top who seems to like Israel an awful damn lot. You know, just look at what is true and say what's true. Be the adult, and hopefully the kids, the adults under the blankets that are scared in politics. Oh, I'm scared of Trump. Oh, I'm scared of Obama. I'm scared of Russia, China, and the aliens. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Come help me. Take my rights. I'm scared of. We need to get the guns off the streets. Oh, the Lord Jesus, we need a police state like those people. Some of those people are ready to wake up. Some of them, but once you show them like what's under the covers and what's in that closet, then they stop acting scared. Others are gonna stay scared, but that's them. You know, you gotta love them too. Women are the creators. Yes, they are, Stacy. And there's probably nothing closer to what a big G God is than a woman, because the woman actually is the creator in this little setup. They do communication with the high-ranking officials, but our government has no control over them. That's what I heard, Stacy. Some of the whistleblowers say that. I don't know it's true. Monkeys aren't really very smart. I don't know, Stacy. I think monkeys are very smart. I think they're smart. I just think that they've got evolved issues like we do, right? Like, I think we're smart. I say we're dumb a lot because it's fun. But I think we're smart. We are. But we have evolved fears. Like, we have evolved fears of not having and scarcity, not having enough food and water, and being killed and raped and thrown in holes and being murdered, having our taken children. Like, we got these evolved fears, and anytime a government can scare you, a political party can scare you, which is what the Democrats do to the Democrats and what the Republicans do to the Republicans, they scare them, and that evolved fear comes out. So I think they're smart creatures. We're intelligent like the monkeys are, but we just have that ability to put those neurons together better. I think that's what that second chromosome thing is. God, alien, whatever, made us from the dust of the earth with the monkeys, gave us the ability to put together higher thoughts because our brains and dendrite connections and neurons and things I can't explain. I think we're just that step in front of the monkeys. That's all we are. I think monkeys are pretty smart. They can figure out tools like we can. Like, we can look at UFOs and we figure out how to make airplanes. I think monkeys can figure those things out too. Mindless lemmings in government think more is better. They do, Joan, and I think, are they really mindless, or are these people just really, really smart? These people might just be really, really smart and be ahead of us. They might be geniuses, and we're the dummies. But the thing I will say is, bad and horrible as they are, they certainly got control of this thing. They've convinced people that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all the 100 families, whoever they are, with $500 trillion, they somehow convinced everybody that they're in control, and the families and money ain't. So they're kind of smart. The government, they're kind of smart. I think Trump called Biden stupid the other day, but they're kind of smart. As dumb and creepy as they might be, They've somehow convinced people that money does not make the world go round, and the next day the people say money make the world go round, but then they go vote like, no, money doesn't make the world go round. My thoughts and gestures do. Pulling levers do. So they gotta be kind of smart. Is that how am I doing on the no vote evangelism? Am I getting better? Anybody? Lori? Am I Lori? Am I in the top 10 now? Conquest mentality. Yes, we got the conquest mentality, Meg. It's that gang mentality. We're gonna go rob people and steal from them, just like the gang bangers do. We do it as a nation, but as a nation, it's okay. And on the don't vote evangelism, I joke on that. I'm not a don't vote. To me, it has nothing to do with voting. Voting's insignificant. That's the point. It's just insignificant. Me, I'm a don't kill people person, right? Don't drop buildings on babies. And every vote you do means more buildings are going to drop on more babies. That's it. All right. Let's start wrapping up and we'll get out of here. What we got? I want to be a tree on a beautiful, isolated lake. Yes, Tina, I do. And you might be next lifetime. I want to be a guy in a little sustainable half greenhouse house that's only about the size of the bedroom I grew up in. Living sustainable off-grid somewhere. That's what I want to be. I just don't have anything to do with this kill system. Germs are good for you. Yes, they are, Stacy. Germs are, that's why we didn't have all the issues and illnesses the kids do today, because we used to play in the mud. Let me see. Randall Carlson has a theory that the Earth is ground zero for all life in the universe. Life on other planets got their start here. Maybe aliens come back to visit the place they ascend from. Ooh, wind up disappointed. Yeah, Susan, we might be a little bit of a disappointment. We just might be. We literally have smack contests right now. Did you see that? We literally have a contest where grown men stand there and slap the hell out of each other. Some of us are moving forward, and others just dedicated to go back. They just dedicated to go. And it's no different than boxing. Don't get me wrong, but it's. I was trapped. I couldn't get out. I was watching. I couldn't stop watching. I was like, whoa! They had the guys, big guys, big old just muscle bound and fat guys. They got the skinny guy get out there, and they just stand at the table. I think it's in Russia. Another reason y'all supposed to hate Russians or something. I don't know. They have a smack contest. You got boxing, whatever. And they hold the table and they just look and they look each other and they smack the hell on the guy head. It's like the goal is to knock the other guy out. That's the goal. That's how you win. You win because the nurse taps you out because you just like dazed. Like this is what we up to. And the aliens come back like, yeah, this is that like they're showing their children around Susan like, oh, I grew up over there on that continent there, but that continent wasn't there. Like how people go back to the neighborhoods they grew up in. Yeah, but that wasn't there. There wasn't no Walmart. And then they got the big Target and everything. They probably come back looking around like, oh yeah, oh Lord, do you see what they're doing? Like this is where we evolved. They're supposed to be flying in ships and doing great stuff. They for about 18 Kali Yugas, they the best they came up with is slapping each other in the face contact. They still killing each other. They literally, honey, the humans are eating. And they left some of the people in the jungle eating each other while they flying in space. Yeah, that's what they doing. That's how they treating their family. Kids don't look. Kids don't look. Honey, cover the eyes. The humans, no, we can't stay here. We gotta go. This, we'll come back in a million years. Maybe they'll figure it out. All right, let me see. There we go. How about a 17-4-inch skeleton that was just found? I believe it, Daniel. I believe it. You know why I don't deny it? I don't deny it because this universe is vast. We know nothing. I believe in string theory and the multiverse. That there's all these different dimensions and universes, and eventually it would just be technology to get you to jump from dimension to dimension to dimension. To me, it's not crazy because there was a time we thought travel across the ocean, and then we did, right? There was a time we thought we couldn't go into space, and then we did. And plus, I always look at this right here. I always looked at this and I wondered, what the hell is this for? Let me show you this. Where is it? Where is it? Right there. I always looked at this and I just wonder, did it show up? Nope, it didn't show up. There it goes. Look at the Great Pyramid and the shafts in the Great Pyramid, right? When they discovered the shafts and they finally sent the robots in there to go see what's in there, why in the hell would you put a little 12-inch shaft in the Great Pyramids snaking around different directions with a door, unless it had a purpose? I don't know. I don't know. Is it possible that, you know, that orb that was flying around the video we just watched, the U.S. Navy, that was a little orb. That was a very small craft. If you look at the size of the waves in that craft, that was a very small craft. You know, you could have creatures that developed to be 17 feet tall living on a planet called the Navi, and you could also have aliens that are 17 inches tall. All is plausible to me. But I just look at things and just nothing to me makes any sense based on what they say. I don't know who they is, but I don't trust they. Usually it's somebody at the top trying to keep me stupid. All right, I'll get out here in a minute. What is sound crew? Sound crew, what is me and my sound crew. All right, what we got? Brother Jack is in the house. Focus on losing the 7 deadly sins. That's the work you need to do. That's it, Stacy. And focus on, you know, I focus on me losing my 7 deadly sins. You focus on yours. They focus on theirs. Like, all the work to do is in the mirror. It's not in other people's mirrors. You don't need to go to other people's countries and help them. They don't need any help, right? You need help. We're all evolving. And obviously, if we haven't evolved enough, then the world is the way it is. You know, the work that we got to do is in our own mirror. It's not in anybody else's mirror. Everyone, this is John D. Rockefeller world. Like, it convinces you that you want to go out in the world and change other people. And all the changes you need to make are within you. That sovereignty, that just accept people as they are. All that stuff that Jesus taught. Leave each other alone. Don't go get a law against the hookers. Take the hookers to dinner. Don't go get a law against the thief. Forgive the thief. Feed the thief. You know, don't let the sick die. Heal the sick. All the things that it just seem like the political parties always divide up to get you to break just enough commandments. And they always agree on the commandment to break is murder. Because the whole system is based in murder. In the swamps, think tanks are really quite smart. They've been deceiving us for a very long time. Yes, they have, Brother Jack. Those bureaucratic swamps. And I appreciate you always mentioning the swamps, because that's a very true statement. We do need to drain the swamps. And the swamps are nasty and anaerobic and thick and bureaucratically backed up by Rockefeller, central banking, and billionaires that actually own this country. And all of those swamps all over the world need to get drained. All that central banking. And I think that's step one, Brother Jack. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think step one is just taking the drain out of central banking. And I think that's why Christ turned them tables over. Not supposed to have banks, not supposed to have bank accounts. Why? Because the whole purpose of money is human labor. And so the whole purpose of a bank is to be the plantation that owns all the humans, that literally prints the money and they don't do anything. I think you take that plug out, and all these nations that can't afford to fix their roads and their bridges, can't afford war, war goes away. Violence and conflict go away. Take the money out the system. And I think eventually things will get set back right. But you leave the money in the system, we're gonna kill the entire planet and us on it. And then everything's gonna reboot later, and they probably use cockroaches. The aliens will come back. All right, honey, we're gonna restart this. The monkeys just didn't work out. We're gonna find a cockroach and take their chromosomes, put it in a cockroach, and give the cockroach higher thought and see if they can learn how to not drop buildings on babies, so they can live a nicer life in the West. Let me see. Thank you, Gerard. That's exactly what I thought. Why do the psychopaths project? Oh, okay. Did we read that one? Their Yahoo label on John Q. Public. You already read that one. Russians save them simply by being there as a witness. Yeah, Augustine. And that's the deep thing. Yeah, I don't think the Russians. You're talking about USS Liberty. right? That's when the attack stopped. You know, when the veterans, the troops, the Navy had signed up to think that they were there to defend their country, pummeled for what was over an hour and a half. I forgot what was in the testimony. Over an hour and a half, and the American government stood back. Lyndon Johnson, Secretary of State, all the captains, the admirals, everybody who knew. John McCain's daddy, war criminal's daddy, was a war criminal too. All stood back to go ahead and let their brothers be murdered on that boat. That's the world you want to keep voting for. It's not a world I want. Murdering everybody on the boat. And the only reason Israel couldn't send 140 American sailors to the bottom of the ocean is because the Russians showed up. A Russian intelligence, naval intelligence vessel sailed closer just to see what was going on. I don't know. I think maybe there was just a little bit of humanity. I don't even know who that was. Was that Gorbachev or somebody with the map on his head? I don't know. Just had a little bit of humanity in him. Said, you know what? The Americans, Washington is letting their soldiers get murdered on that boat. And the Russian trawler just pulled up. Maybe just sat back long enough to see if anybody was going to come help. And maybe there was just enough humanity, just enough love for American sailors to say they've had enough. Like enough is enough, like torture, pain, and hurting people. Like at a certain point, when is enough pain enough? When is enough pain enough? Well, I guess for the Russians, enough was enough after they watched the airplanes come in and drop napalm on the deck. And all the sailors go below. And then the torpedo boats came in from Israel and shot the torpedoes. And the warning, they say, will go off in the boat. And so they all went to the upper decks where the napalm was slowly dying down. And boom, the thud went in. They heard the torpedo go in and boom, blew up. Meanwhile, Lyndon Johnson, Congress, Senate, everybody sat back. He didn't give two damns. And then the planes would come in again to drop more napalm on the deck to burn up more of those American naval sailing veterans. And then they go back down under decks. And then the torpedo boats will come in again. They did everything they could to murder everybody on that boat. One of the highest crimes in human history. And we want to keep voting for the men who did this, the men who financed it, not the little weak Lyndon Johnson puppets that were scared into doing what we still want to do. And we send Israel $39 billion a year. I'm going to tell you the worst part. That's not even the worst part. Outside of the fact that enough tortures enough. Haven't we tortured enough children in trailer parks? Haven't we tortured enough children in the barrio and the ghettos? Haven't we tortured enough poor children in Latin America? How much longer are we going to keep torturing people? Well, the Russians figured that was enough torture, so they brought their boat in. And Israel had no choice but to back off. Perhaps the worst part was in the aftermath. And when they were giving the medals, all the medals they handed out to that, what was it, 100 and something sailors that made it off, minus I don't know how in the world that they lived, blown to bits, bleeding all over the decks, people dying every hour. 16 hours, nobody from America would lift a finger to do a damn thing to go help them, hoping they would sink to the bottom of the ocean. But in the end of it, when they were handing out the Congressional Medals of Honor, if you're not angry yet, before they gave the Congressional Medal of Honor, I think it was one man they did, what was his name? I'll post the link, you can watch part 2. I forgot his name. Captain. Before they gave him the Medal of Honor, you know what they did? They called Israel. They called the embassy to get it approved to give a U.S. naval captain the Congressional Medal of Honor. If it was okay, Israel, is it okay to give this after you tried to murder this man and everybody? Is it okay to give him a Congressional Medal of Honor? So you go vote if you want to. But all I'm going to tell you is your world is not what you think it is. The world is a lot uglier than you think it is. And the only way we fix it is we be adults and we pull up our big panties and we act like we got on grandmama drawers. All right, I got to get going. Listen, y'all have a great day. This is Gerard. It's been fun. I love the alien topic. It's important because it's free energy. It's how we free the world. Free the world by having no more secrets. Always a solution at the end. No more secrets. Grow the hell up. No more secrets in government. Use free energy to save the world. No more violence. No more conflict. Feed everybody. We got the robots, the automation. We can build houses. We can do everything we can to help everybody. But none of your politicians are talking about doing it because none of them give a damn. They all work for the John D. Rockefellers, the corporations, they're an oligarchy. It's time to grow up, move on, evolve. How you going? Love y'all to death. Y'all have a wonderful day. It's Gerard. I'm out. Bye-bye.